How are we doing? Nice to meet you.
I was just telling Joe I'm going to record this whole session so that you guys can go back and watch if you need to review the technical stuff or share with other folks or whatever the case may be. All right. Well, I think we talked and said maybe 2 hours, but I'm game for kind of letting it be as long as we need to be. We'll kind of start the clock and see where it goes from there. I know that there were a couple things that we highlighted. Me and Joe had talked about. But just so you guys know, like I don't have a specific agenda with like slides or PowerPoints or like me kind of like blah at you guys. It's more like I've got the examples that he brought out and refresh myself on kind of my method and workflow to come to resolutions and help you guys with some of these things. But I think it will be extremely helpful to see some of the examples from you guys directly. But before we kind of get into that, maybe I know a little bit about you, Joe, and Colin and James. Maybe you guys could just quickly introduce yourselves and tell me a little bit about what you do, how you use GIS or don't use GIS, and then kind of what you're looking to get out of this today.
Yeah, so I guess I'm calling co-owner of Water and Woodland, but mostly, we're producing these polygon maps for like treatment areas and plant surveys. So we actually had someone set up our like a template, and we'll show you that later. But so I mean, there's definitely a bunch of things that James and I need to learn. We're amateurs, 100%.
Okay.
But I know we have the list, but there's other stuff like James and I. The only way we can share each other's information is PDF it and send it. And I was hoping that there's some sort of cloud or something that we can start sharing our work. There's stuff we need to learn. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm James. Just to kind of echo Colin, we essentially just do what Colin said, just kind of more, I guess, more the simpler maps, basic polygons, dot features, stuff like that. A couple of things Joe probably touched on, and Colin, if Colin and I could figure out a way just to share data through the portal, that would be incredible. We could work on each other's maps, build off it. Another thing I think Joe might have brought up, just doing field maps out in the field and transferring it to a GIS map. If you'd be able to show us how to do that, that'd be huge.
Okay. Yeah, right on. So why don't you guys, yeah, and I'm Jeff, by the way, and I got linked up with Joe through another colleague of mine, who's Eli, who's a lake management guy out here in California. He and I went to graduate school, and he went down more the environmental and lake management side of things. And I went back and I kind of stayed in school and work in academia. So I teach a couple of GIS courses and some drone courses at some schools out here in California. But yeah, I mean, before that, and even still somewhat now, I was working as a consultant, producing maps and helping, whether it be make them all directly or kind of, come in and patch things up for folks as they needed that didn't have the skills or whatnot. So that's really where I'm coming from. And, let's get started just kind of discussing what the platforms are like right now, right? You've got Esri, that's the big player. And I mean, you guys have a license for Esri, right? With that, you have like a couple floating licenses or something. Is that what you guys have set up?
Yeah, we have like the corporate license or whatever, and we just kind of share one login, but it's like $800 a year or whatever that one is.
Okay. So with that, do you guys have access to ArcGIS online? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good. And so then when you do your maps, are you working with ArcGIS Pro or are you working with the old ArcMap?
We're using the Pro.
You're using Pro. Okay, good, good. All good stuff. Okay, good. Right on. Okay. Why don't you show me, just anyone in the room, go ahead and show me like an example of, hey, we made a map and we want to get this, you know, like Colin, I had made a map, you know, I made a map and I want to share it to James, or the other way around or something like that. So just so I can kind of see what pain points you're working with, and then kind of show you some of the examples I might have. You should be able to share screens.
Yeah, I have one ready too that I'll just
Oh, you got it?
well, yeah, I just have one that I have up on my screen. Grab one that I can share. So let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so this is Sugden Reservoir, right? And it's got, you know, it has our logo and everything. It's got the direction, right? And here's a couple maps, right? I guess my pain point is, you know, and it's a nice looking map, right? It goes to the client. It looks nice. So basically this is a pre-treatment survey. You know, you see the legend. This is what James found. He did this survey and map. And then ultimately these are the areas we treated.
Okay.
So my pain point is this is pretty much eyeballed. Now, both of these guys are really accurate. I mean, you're probably not going to get anybody who can eyeball and be more accurate, but it's really not based on GPS points or anything like that. So I think in an ideal world, we could actually snap some GPS points in the field and they would, you know, extrapolate or whatever the word is to ArcGIS, and, you know, the data would be there. So it would be accurate. Or there's that field maps app on the phones where you can actually draw polygons in the field, see your GPS location, drop points exactly where you are, and they could drop a bunch of points in the field. And then ultimately this would, you know, they sit down at their computer and it would be there.
Yeah, definitely.
But essentially what they're doing is basically just eyeballing. I was out there. I know that cove had this. I know that cove had that. Take some notes in a notebook, maybe sketch it out in the field on paper, and then sit down at the computer. And, but how accurate is it? You know, it's kind of accurate, but not really. And then I know,
and you're relying on a satellite based map that who knows when that was captured, right?
Right. And then, you know, let's say James started this map and Colin needed to access it, or Colin wanted to add something, or let's say James did the pre-treatment survey map. So he did this top one and then Colin did the treatment, let's say, and Colin wanted to go back and start with James's veg map, this first one, and then do the treatment areas based off that. He has no access to, you know, to that map, even if they're sharing the same login. It's kind of computer specific, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the genesis of this? Did it come from the phone directly and then you put it in a PDF, or like, how did you come to this PDF here in this example?
This was essentially just a survey I took, kind of just write down on a piece of paper while I'm out there in a journal, just pretty much a map of what I see, where it is, everything like that.
Yeah.
Take this and I go into ArcGIS Pro and just create the polygons. And so, I mean, not the best way to do it, probably, like Joe said, could probably be a little bit more accurate, but just that's a very close eyeball.
So you're, yeah, I mean, that's all good. I mean, the field method itself, that sounds fine. You know, hey, you guys obviously know a little, probably better than me, how to do the methods themselves in terms of collecting and taking notes and the treatment parts. What I'm trying to get at is, once you're creating the map, sounds like you're doing it in Pro directly, sketching out these polygons, and then you're exporting it to be a PDF with you know, your logo, the north arrow, and a couple notes there, right? And then that's it. Does that sound accurate? Yep. From that point on? Okay. So yeah, let's see. Why don't we do you guys have this map somewhere? Any of the three of you, like on your James, do you have like this example or another example?
We have it on our Google Drive, but I do have other maps up that I could use, that I have on my laptop, but that one was deleted and moved.
Want to start here? Let's just talk right from the beginning of like, how do you get
Mhm.
a pro project into ArcGIS Online? I think that's a good starting
Yep.
point for us. So go ahead and share your screen, James, and pull up one of your maps that you've worked on in ArcGIS Pro.
Okay. Ooh. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is one I just did for a permit. This is just a site map. Pretty much there's the pond, and just put it into this with you know, our logo, everything down here.
Right. Okay. Yep.
So then from there, I would just go to share up here
Okay.
and go to share layout, and you know, right here is where we save everything, export to a PDF.
Yes, I see that. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if you guys, okay. So hold on one second. Let me pull up the example I have, because for me, I'm just looking on my other screen over here real quick. When I go to share, share. So I'm wondering if you're missing certain tools that might be available. If you click back on the map tab instead of layout,
Yep.
and then click share again at the top, the ribbon. Okay, so there you go. So from here, you know, what you could do is click, well here, turn on whatever layers you want to turn on. I don't think that necessarily matters, but just for
For this, I
just
don't
for
think.
visual, let's see if we can get a couple.
This was a different map here. Well, let me pull up a different map.
Okay.
Um, what the heck? Why didn't Orchard Cove come up? Here we go.
Nice. So see where it says under share, it says web map, the button right next to web layer.
Yep.
Yep. Have you guys ever done that before?
No.
Okay.
No.
So go ahead and click on that thing. Okay. And then yeah, what this is going to do, it's going to take your map here and upload it directly to ArcGIS Online. And then you guys should be able to view it anywhere and kind of play around with it that way. So, you know, this is all just, we add in stuff, right? You can give it a name, you know, call it whatever you want. You could put notes for like a summary, you know, collected on so-and-so day. It's like entering metadata basically.
Yeah.
So just put like a couple little things just for the example, you know, anything that has a little asterisk on it. Cool. And then, yeah, just put like a random tag, like a, you know, you could put pond and then that's fine with that. Yeah. Now, select a configuration, copy all data. That should be fine. The location, drop that down real quick. That's fine. I always just use my root folder. It just kind of saves it again. There's a couple things going on. It's gonna keep a copy of like this record locally, but really what we're ultimately trying to do is push this up to the cloud. So then where it says share with, and this is when it's up to you guys. If you want it to be a map, what's going to happen? It's going to create a link. So if you want the link to be available to anybody, like anybody that gets the link, they can view it, right? Not that like saying that like the whole world can search this and find this. That would be the everyone link. Or if you just want to share it within your organization, like people that have access directly to your account only, then you check that box, right? But if you're going to share it with clients, then you probably want to check the everyone link. Just putting those out there. So go ahead now, click that analyze button. And layers, data sources, inaccessible. Can you right click on that error? Or sorry, select layer. Why is it giving us this error? Select layer in the contents pane. Yeah, try select layer in the contents pane. Oh, I see what's happening. It's telling you, if you look at your layers, scroll down on the bottom of your layers there. See that dense, whatever that is. It's missing somewhere. So it's like, it's not linked, like the data is not found. Maybe it's in, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
There it is. Yeah, I got you. That
Okay.
should work. Yep.
Okay, sweet. So now click the analyze again, and hopefully that'll fix that error. Okay, cool. So now click the share button with the little cloud. Okay, so it's working on it. Yeah, there it goes. So it's kind of compressing everything, putting it into the online package, and then it's pushing it up there for you guys. And then it'll give you a little link here in a moment. And it should send every layer that you have in the map.
Oh, geez, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is just creating a carbon copy of the same thing and pushing it online.
So that way Colin would be able to go in if he needs to make a map, and he can literally just use all these layers that are already previously that's awesome.
That's the idea.
Same with Colin to me. Wow.
Yeah, once things get online, the accessibility is endless. I mean,
Field to
publish, reservoir pond. So that's interesting. I wonder what happened. Uh-oh, what is the deal here? Failed to publish. Is that one of the names of the layers, or is that the name of the project? Reservoir pond.
That's the name of the project.
Interesting. Go ahead and click that view log thing. I wonder if we could source this. Boy, let's see, web map. Okay, well, let's do this, try and diagnose what's happening. Can you pull up a web browser? You can just leave that active and just pull up a web browser so we can see. Yeah, so then go to arcgisonline.com. That's fine. And then, yeah, have you ever done this where you sign in before?
I don't believe so. Have you, Colin?
Yeah, I tried it.
It would be the same username you guys used to log into Pro.
It's just saved on my laptop. Yeah, what is it? Joe, Water and Wetland?
I think of it, yeah.
I'll tell you in just a sec.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, maybe put it in the chat or something.
Yeah, no, I have it. So login is just water and wetland, all lowercase. And then the normal password there.
Okay, sweet. Okay. So this is your ArcGIS Online hub, where supposedly all your projects are supposed to kind of go and be saved for you guys, right? This is your cloud portal here. Go over to on the top. If you scroll up, scroll your window up to the top. Okay, so the tab that says Gallery, click on that one real quick. So there are some things here. I don't know. Does any of this stuff look familiar?
So yeah, so this is when I was trying to, well, actually, this brings up a good question, but these Turkey Hill ones were when I was trying to get something into ArcGIS field maps so that we could play with it.
Ah, right. Okay.
So, however, James must have been working on those. If you scroll down a little bit, the Willet, maybe Natural Heritage. Somebody was working on those and they somehow ended up in here. But these are what I can see in field maps. So if I open up that field maps app, I'm actually able to see these, open them up and edit them. The problem is once I edit them, it never ends up back on the computer there.
Really? So when you do something in field maps, it doesn't update this version here.
Correct. And that's kind of the problem, because if it was as simple as we put a base map in, ArcGIS Online, and then when the guys go out in the field, they can add a bunch of points, add a bunch of polygons, and then go back to the computer and, make it look nice, but use accurate GPS points and accurate polygons. That would be ideal.
Yeah. I mean, we're from what I could see here and what you told me, it looks like you kind of did everything the right way, but we're gonna have to try and figure out why the connection is lost there. But regardless, let's go back to Pro and try to solve this other problem first. So the thing I was looking for was if the reservoir pond map showed up online, and it obviously didn't. So we have to try to sort this out. What's going on? Why isn't it loading? Oh, failed to publish WF-L1. Actually, sorry, go back to your browser real quick. And then scroll up to the top and click on the content option there. Okay, so there is something there, but not service definition. Yeah, not the map we were looking for. So this is an interesting situation. Here, why don't you go back to Pro and click the Analyze again. At this point, I'm really just trying to diagnose and see what's going on. But if you click Analyze again, I'm wondering why it's giving us an error, because when we analyze, it's saying no errors are found. Try to share it again. Let's see what happens. Theoretically, it should send it right there. I mean, unless there's an issue with the account or something like that. I'm having a hard time trying to understand what's going on here. Maybe we have to change a configuration or something. We'll see. Interesting. Okay. Let's go back to under your share window where it says map, the tab that says map under the share as a web map window. Yep. See you've got messages, configuration, and map. Click the map option.
Right here?
No,
Oh, you mean
to your
like
right,
this?
to the right side of the screen.
Right here?
No, the tab that says map. So you have your window that says share as a web map on your right side.
Share as a web map.
Right where we were clicking the analyze and share and stuff like that at the bottom. But see at the top of that little window there, it says map, configuration, and messages.
Oh, yep, right here.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if there's something here that's blocking things. Click back on the map side. And drop that down where it says copy all data. That one there. Visualization, interactive map supporting queries. Yeah, I don't think these are a problem. Let's do this where it says share with. Let's try. Yeah, click the everyone also and just see what happens. Go ahead and share it and let's see if that makes a difference. Did you say you tried this a little bit, Colin?
No, I mean, I tried to make a map on ArcGIS online.
Okay. And it just didn't work out. Okay. Yeah, so this is still isn't working. So here, I'm gonna ask for the remote control and see if I can figure this out.
Approve.
Okay, so we know, let's see, view log. Reservoir pond. Message error failed. Reservoir pond. In progress, in progress. So it's failing here. Wetlands, wet map, reservoir pond. Reservoir pond. Wonder why it's failing. Let's see, let's turn that off. Just click that one. No, that makes it do all that. Interesting. We tried that. If we put this, use symbolic types, reservoir pond configuration, maybe. Type feature, feature layer, location there. Configuration, enable export data, enable sync operations, content. Yeah, let's see. Configuration. Editing, editors, add, update, delete features. That should be fine. Export data, maybe. I think that those give any really change anything. If we turn this web layer properties, no, we just did that. Okay. So over here, no. Reservoir pond, feature layer. Web layer, feature layer. That shouldn't matter. All right, let's try this. Oh boy, okay. Well, let's see. That's not great, but let's try something else. Here, why don't you go ahead and open up a different map and see if there's, maybe it's something in this map that's blocking it. I don't know, but open a different map that has a bunch of stuff in it and see if we can. That's fine.
This just has like a natural heritage layer.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's do the share, or let's do the web map again.
You
And
might get the error. It looks like down in the contents. Yeah, it looks like the dense fan wart.
okay. So or I'll let you reset
Yeah,
that. Go ahead.
I don't know if this is right, but I usually just click that and this thing pops up, and I usually just do like areas or polygon,
Okay.
and then it usually goes away. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just call it map 2, map 1, and 2. Okay. So analyze. No errors. Try again. If this doesn't work, I'll show you the examples I have and what it's supposed to do. And I don't know if there's just something with the account or something's blocking it somewhere. But this is supposed to be the way that you take everything that you've done locally, bam, get it up to the cloud, right? So if we can't solve it directly, at least this can be you know, a pathway for you guys to look at, or, you know, researching more directly with Esri itself or something like that. Because I don't want to spend too much time just trying to solve one little thing. I mean, we can, but yeah, this is an interesting one. Okay, so let me just show you an example of what it looks like on my side if I share something. Here, let me rearrange my windows real quick. And then you could tell me if this is kind of what you're aiming for. Okay, so here's a map that I have. It's just kind of a grid of random points. I know Joe had said that that was something he was kind of interested in. So we could come back to the specifics of this in a moment. But for now, so like for me, if I go to share here, you guys can see all the stuff I'm doing, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so when I go web map, let's call it share 1. Same thing every time. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I mean, really, I'm doing, let's see, create a folder. I don't think that makes a difference. Let's go share here. Maybe I do have to create a folder. I don't know. Let's see. Analyze. Different projection. Field shape length cannot be used to display field. Allow assignments. Okay, let's see. Expand group. Change coordinates. Just update to maps. There we go. Just trying to resolve these little errors. Update map coordinates. Share field map length cannot be used to display. Share. Interesting. Let's see what happens when we try it anyways. You must fix all the errors. Okay, well, I guess I didn't have it perfectly down right. Let's see. Allow assignment of a unique number IDs. Share web layer to change. Where is it saying that? Allow assignment of unique ID, numeric IDs for sharing web layers is disabled. Allow assignment that thing. Okay, there we go. And then field shape length cannot be used to display. What? This one. Layer. Field shape length cannot be used. as a display field. Okay. Field shape length. I'm not sure what the problem is with that. What if we remove that altogether? Let's try again. Okay, no errors this time. So let's see, share. Okay, it's thinking about it. Okay, so green is good, right? So there was something going on with that, one of those layers I had that was causing a problem. But it looks like what I've got now is going to work. So when I have a green check box here, I can say manage the web map. And so now you should see something like this. So this is called the item page. And it's essentially, like I said, a copy of what you had from Pro. So if I go map viewer, it would end up with this. And now I'm in ArcGIS Align, right? The same exact thing. You know, obviously it looks different, you know, display wise, but all the content says the exact same thing. I had these two layers that were for my Pro project, and now they are in this online project. So to share something like this, let me see, I think you guys can access this. Where's the share button here? Map properties. Oh, actually, here, let's go back to the web page. Sign in to add a comment. Oh, I'm not signed in. Okay, hold on. Let's try that. Okay, so here I am. Is it going to allow me to edit that thing? I guess it is. Uh-oh, what happened? Did it freeze up? Let's see. Try again. Okay, so now if we go to sharing, that's not working. Chrome is a little bit finicky. I found for some reason when it comes to the actual sharing operation. Well, this works actually. Let's see. The map is currently, your map is currently shared with these people. So here's something I need to do. Go back, and I'm going to do this just using Microsoft Edge. I found that's kind of a little workaround. Don't ask me why Chrome is kind of working funny when it comes to this thing, but I found this to work. So if I go here, I know I'm clicking kind of fast. If you need me to stop and answer a question or something like that, just let me know. But I'm going to go back to my, oh wait, can I do it here? Share, here we go. Okay. So just wanted to make sure that this is a public link. And so what I'm going to do is send this over to you guys. Okay, so go ahead and try and open that from the chat and see if it's the same map that I've got on my screen.
Yep.
Worked?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So is that a starting point for what you're looking for? More or less?
Yeah, and then we can work through this, or do we have to then move it over to ArcGIS Pro?
You could sketch polygons in here. You can create new layers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Directly in this, or you can download it. So if we go to let's see, let me actually close this one, and if I go back to my Let's go back one. So if you go back to the item page here, then you could say, like right here, open in ArcGIS.
Perfect. That was my next question, if we could use that.
Yep. So the item page has a ton of stuff that you can do, where you could change, the sharing capabilities, who can view it, open it in field maps, that kind of thing. You can create what's called so there's web map. That's what we're looking at right now. And then there's web app. It's two different things. The app is, if we click on this, just to show you, choose an app. So this will give you kind of a fancier version of the web map itself. But I'm not going to get into this too much. There's so many things that you guys could click around here and play with. But directly, just to kind of put it out there, if you say like open in ArcGIS Pro, then it downloads it right here. And so if I say portal item, I think so. Yeah, you can see my screen, right? I think if I go open like this, it should work. There it is. So it's everything just back and forth, transferred back and forth, right? And so now I'm in Pro, and I could do, what I'm familiar with in Pro, and then kind of go back and reshare it one more time, kind of thing. So yes, there is transferability between, you guys working from computers to computers. And that's the nice thing about it. It doesn't limit your project to being only in one place, one computer, you know what I mean? One hard drive. Now, once you get it up into the ArcGIS Online, then, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, that's just the basics of how it's supposed to work. Sharing, the sharing to get it on the ArcGIS Online. We could go back to your project and see if we could resolve that error if you want, or we could try other things. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I definitely want to learn a little bit about this app. What's it called?
Field maps.
Yeah, field map.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
The question though is that the same issue? Is the two not talking on our account causing that same issue with field maps?
Potentially.
You know what I mean? Because I know how to use field maps. I mean, it's really easy. Colin and I took a walk through the woods.
Oh yeah.
On a cold winter day last year and dropped some points and drew some polygons, and everything's still on my phone. The problem is it just never gets back to the computer. So in an ideal world, I think what we have to do is share the map, share the base map, like we were trying to do with that reservoir pond one. And then I believe it would have shown up in our field maps account on our phones. And then we could go in, edit that, add points, draw polygons, and then open that back up on the computer, dress it up, and PDF it on our template, on our like letterhead template.
Yes. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. So with field maps, there's a couple things. The approach that I learned was to set up the project first, kind of as a blank project, set it up first in ArcGIS Online, and then go to the field and open it directly, from the link that you got from ArcGIS Online. It sounds like you could do it either way around, but I'm not sure if the connection is made like you're saying there. It should be in theory, but the way that I've always done things is to create it first, create like a blank project here first in ArcGIS Online. So like here, I'll show you an example. That's because what I'm saying is not the way you normally do things, right? With this field maps.
Well, I'm going to try and I'm gonna try and log in on my phone,
Okay.
and then I can share stuff from my phone maybe.
Okay.
Let me see. Apparently I don't have the Zoom app on my phone anymore. Download it. Give me 1 sec.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, in theory, what's supposed to happen is there's really two places you're going to look for your maps, right? It's the content, and content is more or less like,
Joe iPhone. Recording in progress.
Oh, hold on. Let me mute my computer.
yeah, no problem.
There we go. All
Okay.
right. That should
So-
fix it.
Maybe mute the phone. instead.
Okay.
And then back on the computer, can you unmute the computer? How's that?
That seems better.
Got it. Okay.
Um,
So yeah, content is where like you as the it's not really matter too much because you're all using the same account, but this is where you would go to essentially access all of your web, what was I calling them? The main pages for these things. So like item page is what they call it, item page. This is called an item page where you have all these different options, right? So if I go back, then I have like, here's another one that I've done, you know, and I could go in and change stuff about the items themselves. The gallery is just a quick little rundown of all these things. Gallery.
Hold on, are you seeing my screen or your screen, Jeff? I think I'm sharing.
Oh, sorry, man. I thought I was sharing. My bad. I'm not sharing at all. You're right. Here I am talking and I'm not even sharing, but I see your screen now. So let's go ahead and talk about what you've got on your stuff.
So this is one where Colin somehow got this into field maps, right? So basically I can go in field maps and I see what I see, right? So like any of these layers are in here, right?
Yep.
So let's say we go to this one here, or actually that one has some points on it. So we'll go to this one. I did this one. This is where my house is, right?
Okay.
So basically I did this just to try out field maps. And I can go in and add a point. So if I go to markup, right? I can go in and I can draw polygons in the fields. I can add a point.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right? And so ideally, if we had a base map of a lake in field maps and they just opened it up. Now I'm nowhere near my house right now, so it doesn't show where I am, but we have an external GPS that can link to our phone, which gets us within a few meters.
Okay.
And then I've already figured out how to link that to field maps. So in essence, if I was at my house right now, it would show a dot where I am. Right.
Yes.
So as they were cruising a lake in a boat, it would show them where they are and we could drop a point, drop a point, drop a point. They find FAMWord here, here, here. They drop a point. And then if they want to do, you know, Colin, I think you usually like mark the corners with a point and then you kind of can connect them with a polygon like that. And I know how to shade it and, you know, change the color. And then it looks like a nice polygon. The problem is now I have these points and it doesn't go anywhere. I can't do anything with this data.
Yeah, it doesn't go back to your online account.
Correct. So in an ideal world, they'd be able to just put the map, open it up in field maps. So from the list, say, oh, I'm going to Turkey Hill Pond today. I'm going to open up Turkey Hill Ponds, and they could go out and they can go mark up, add point, add point, add point. Then let's say if it's different species, they can add a purple point.
Yeah, I totally hear you, man.
You know, they can take notes. I mean, all these things that field maps has to offer, and then it would get back into ArcGIS Online. They could open it up in Pro on the computer, make it look real nice, and then spit a map out, but then you'd have accurate GPS points.
So which map is this you're working on at this particular moment that you
This
just
is
made some
Tur-
edits to?
This is Turkey Hill Pond. So I have this whole list of maps here.
Turkey Hill Pond, copy, copy, copy. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when I open it, it creates a new copy, but
Yeah, and I remember I made that map on ArcGIS online, so that's why it's there. I didn't make it pro.
Gotcha. Okay, real quickly, go back to your web browser and see if in your ArcGIS Online account, see if it changed the map itself, because it, like I said, everything should be 100% synced together.
well, I'll stop sharing. So one of you guys maybe
Yeah,
go into online and
maybe close your app so that it's done there. I'm looking at it, my app too, and seeing if there's somewhere that you have to say like save or anything, but it doesn't seem so. It should be automatic. But yeah, one of you guys go ahead and open up your web browser and see if we can find ArcGIS Online.
Can we do a call or?
I'm not even signed in.
Then back into where I was before?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
go over to the left tab where it says content, my content, and then refresh this page. So I see right there, it says Turkey Hill Pond, copy, 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 but modified November 5th. So it's not taking in what Joe just did. Just for the sake of it, let's click on the link for Turkey Hill Pond with the 3 copies at the end. Yeah, I don't see, open up Map Viewer Classic real quick. And I don't see the points that he just added.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I wonder if Joe, can you open up the app? I know we're bouncing back and forth all over the place, but Joe, can you open up the app again real quick?
yep. Let me share my screen.
While you guys are doing that, I'm going to look on mine as well to see if I've got an update on my map that I just worked on.
James, I think you got to stop sharing and then I can share.
Yep.
Okay. And so some of these points I had put in like months ago as I was trying to figure out, because I really, really want this app to work.
Yeah, for sure.
And so see how it says GPS accuracy 35 meters. When we hook up our external GPS, we get down, it says less than 5 meters.
Okay, nice.
So it's nice. I mean, it's cool, but it just never gets back into the computer.
Okay.
And ultimately, I think we need to be able to get, like, the reservoir pond obviously failed, but I think if that actually went through, it would have shown up in my Field Maps app. So I could have then manipulated that one.
Yeah. Sorry, can you click on the 3 copies again and see, was there something? Did it change? So it's there in the phone, but it's not
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
not pushing it back. Okay.
And actually, like, if, with 2 copies, I mean, I've edited that one before.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay. Let me see. Let me see something real quick, because I'm working on my own version over here that I've got on my phone on a map that I'm working on, and I'm trying to get. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna look back at my notes, okay? Okay, so we've got all those things just to make sure we're not missing a step. Capture, observe, and share. Once you get back to your computer, open any browser. Click on the content on the top of your screen. Capture more information. Nice and field maps on your device. Why isn't it directly working? My maps. Once you go back, it's not working. Click on the contents. View observable features. Click the share. Yeah, man, what is up with this? Okay, so markup places. Markup, measure, maps. Let's see. Reload it. There it is. And then on mine, if I go back to here, should be updating everything to the latest date, but it's not. Units, ask troubleshooting about field maps. Modified 22. First order. Share map. Selected files. No, they should all be 100% back and forth. Okay. Well, I think we hit another wall here. This should be another one where it just goes. And Joe, you had everything in mind the right way. For some reason, things are not doing what they're supposed to. So I'm going to take a note of that as well.
And when I so I have my field, trying to bring it up on my phone, my field maps, and I'm signed in, under Joe, the same account.
Yep.
I have no maps that pop up.
No maps pop up on your side.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm on it right now.
Interesting. Try refreshing it.
And I just checked online. I can see that. I actually saw the maps that James shared minus the layers earlier. So at least I could see.
Yeah, it's because even on my end, I'm work. Oh no, now mine worked. Okay. So mine took. I did an edit on a map that I have also for field maps here, and it took about a minute to update it to my ArcGIS Align. So it's interesting. Yeah, when it says modified, I would imagine that it would have changed that modification date to today, but it's not doing that. It's only taking the day the map was actually first created. Gosh, this is an odd one because everything from here, again on my end, when you have something on, it's not immediate, but when you have something here, it should go to your ArcGIS Online account, all the updates you made. I wonder if there's just some setting that we're missing, or there's just some kind of blocker there or something, just with your guys' account when it comes to sharing your files.
Yeah. So maybe we just need to call our GIS and figure out where the disconnect is.
Yeah,
units aren't talking.
I think so. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time trying to, because I just don't know the answer, to be totally frank with you guys. I'm kind of pulling straws here to see if we can figure it out. But I mean, I know what the problem is. We know what the problems are, but I don't know how to fix them directly with you guys. And my I'm trying to replicate the problems on my end, but it's, and again, I'm not trying to say it one way or the other, but like when I'm doing them, it's working okay.
Yeah.
So
It's gotta be a setting. I know Colin had some weird setting issue with ARC when we first signed up. And we were
Yeah,
like, oh, we've
yeah.
never seen this weird setting before. Okay, I
but at
guess,
least this way you guys know what is supposed to happen, right?
right, yep.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
So then, I guess we have it recorded, so assuming we get that connect working, could you guys share, like, say that reservoir pond example, you guys are good with sharing that? Because in essence, if we had just a base map of reservoir ponds, that would allow us to go out on reservoir pond, open it up in field maps with an external GPS, so we're nice and accurate, drop a ton of points, and then ultimately sit back down at the computer with all our points and everything and spit out a map pretty easily.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And again, in theory, you know, because you're creating the points actively in the field. So taking the field maps and loading it in. So it's like there's three steps to it, right? It's gonna go through three phases. It's gonna go from field maps. That's where you're gonna be collecting your points and even doing your polygons, right? That this is in a perfect world when everything's working. So your field maps is where you're collecting your very accurate data of points and polygon type data. Then from there, it should sync into your ArcGIS Online account, okay, which is everything we've been looking at so far. From ArcGIS Online, then you could go in and you could say download this to ArcGIS Pro. In Pro, then you can make any modifications you want to. You can make modifications in Online too. But the biggest difference between Online versus Pro is the Online, it doesn't do, there might be, I've never really gone that far with it, but it's not like the PDF version. You know what I mean? Where you have your letterhead and your logos and other stuff like that, right? It's a web map, so it's a different type of display. You take it to Pro, that's where then you can, you know, make the nice PDF for your clients. So like I said, 3 stages, but really it's just a matter of shifting things from one place to another because all of your data collection happens in the field maps, right? That would be the workflow I can imagine for you guys kind of moving forward, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. And having everything online, then you have this kind of permanent repository where you can go back and forth, Colin, Joe, James, any one of you guys. Hey, James, you know, we need to go back and update, you know, reservoir pond XYZ. Oh, cool. Well, you just go back on to ArcGIS Online, download it, and then adjust it. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I imagine to happen for you guys in a perfect world. But something's not synced right with your account, I think. But was there other things you guys wanted to chat about? Because I know you mentioned in an email you said put GPS points and make a grid or something, but I don't know. What else do you guys have in mind?
Well,
I guess I
I
just,
think,
oh, hey,
Go
go
ahead.
Joe. I just based off of the whole sharing thing, just I've tried before. It's definitely not, if I go to, I guess if I share my screen quicker again, share. So say I'm, move this thing out of here. So say I'm in my, does the portal here, so say I were to save it into the portal, so this portal has nothing to do with our account right here, correct?
I've never actually tried that. What does click on that? Let's see what it does. My content, my
Because I've tried using this to think if I put it to the portal here, maybe Colin can see it, but I can't figure out this either. So I don't know if this was maybe an alternative to that.
Yeah, I've actually never even seen that or looked that up. It looks like the same thing, but I don't know why they would call it something different. Portal documentation,
Yeah.
create stunning detail maps, enterprise portal. I'm just looking it up on my other screen. Share maps, enterprise portal.
Because I've tried, and even
what happens when you share it on that thing? Does anything?
I also haven't done it in a while because I've kind of given up on trying to share maps.
Okay.
But yeah, I just know like if I do say, oops, just save as, there's a where the heck is it? Yeah, it might be in here. I don't know. I've tried doing like all this and I don't know if this portal thing here, if there's any other, if
Click on
that's
it,
maybe,
click on the portal again. My content. Recent. Yeah.
I just didn't know if you knew anything.
No, I don't
if
know
that
much
could
about
be-
it. That might be a
Okay.
newer thing they've added out there.
Mhm.
But I'm just reading about it right here. It says ArcGIS Enterprise Portal is a component of ArcGIS Enterprise that allows you to share your maps, scenes, and apps with other people in your organization. The front end portal is powered by the back end infrastructure of Portal. You can customize it. Frankly, I'm not sure what the difference is between this and online.
Yeah,
It
that's,
seems like the exact same thing. Maybe this is a fancier version of online, or they're going to change online to this name or something, but
Mhm.
I've never heard of that before.
all
So,
right, I'll just stick with the way that you told us. That's,
okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. It honestly looks like it's the exact same thing, but anyway.
Here's a question, Jeff.
Yeah.
So creating the metered grids, and I think I'll share my screen if I can. Hang on. So like this, let's say, right? This would be a point intercept survey. Can you see my screen?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So it looks kind of like what you had, but it's perfectly spaced points, on a metered grid. So typically like 1 point per surface acre.
Cool.
So we have no idea how to create that. So I think we've kind of solved that issue with, okay, if we can get GIS to talk and go online, we should
Okay.
be able to get points and draw polygons in field maps, get back on the computer and edit them. But this type of survey is basically creating this grid in advance, right?
Okay.
Then what they would do is go out on the water with the GPS and literally go to each one of these points.
Oh,
And then
wow. Okay.
at each one of these points, basically collect a set of data, right? What,
Gotcha.
what are the plants and what are the densities? What's the depth?
Cool.
This and that.
Okay.
And then they can go in and create maps based off this, because it's all set GPS points. But I don't think any of us know how to create this type of grid.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to try to summarize what is happening here. So that I understand the use case, so I can repeat this, right? It sounds like they have these points kind of predetermined and they have them in the map ahead of time, right? Before you go into the field. Then when you're in the field, you use those as like your reference where you go to, for position. Take your boat to each one of those coordinates, and then that's where you record your various data about the conditions at the lake, right?
Correct. Yeah. And so then you kind of see, you can split these off into what they found at each, what percentage, say fanwort was found at X% of data points.
Yeah.
These are the species that were found at the different data points, but the whole difference is this could be replicated, right? Because if we did the same survey every single year, every year you're going back to that exact same point.
Right.
So then you can compare year over year data in terms of, oh, well, we went to the same point 5 years in a row.
Perfect.
We found this year, didn't find it this year, but then we found it again this year.
Okay.
And really anybody should be able to replicate this survey from any company because it's the same hard data points.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, for sure. So I could show you like in a blank ArcGIS Pro project, kind of starting from scratch, and then how to create the points. And then, we could go from there if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you could try and do it like on a lake, that would be good. Like if you had like a lake, just pick a random lake. I don't care where it is.
Okay.
And just throw a grid on it.
Yeah, let's see what I can come up with. Okay, so well, here's a big river or something. Let's see. How about over here? I'll do I don't know.
That looks like a good lake.
Yeah, this is a nice big big old lake here. I think I'm in Alabama or something like that. I use these shape files for one of my classes. But we'll pretend that this is the lake itself right here, right? Okay. So the way that that I prefer to create the grid of points would be to have a polygon of your outline already. So like an outline of the water, the shore itself, right? Or like in this case, I'm going to use the island and try to, make that my lake, if that makes sense, right? Because it's going to take a long time to try to digitize all of this stuff. But like, let's say we honed in here and we imagine that this was the outline of a lake. So let's see, what we could do is add a graphics layer, because I'm just starting from complete scratch. If you had a shape file to start with, that would be great. If you don't, one of the methods you can work with is to go over to, let's see, is it?
Unless maybe we start with that reservoir pond one. Can you tap into that or no?
Where is it in the world there?
Well, I'm just saying, like in our account, does it let you like use your cursor on our thing?
Actually, here, you know what? I'll just have you guys kind of walk through it. You've got the polygons you've already want, right? Because I know which tools you need to access. So here, I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna let either James or Colin, maybe James, since you've already got it on your computer. Why don't you pull up that reservoir? And that's perfect.
I got one question too.
Yeah.
Obviously I did like the outline of this. But I remember back in taking GIS classes back in college, there's like a way, I don't know if it's maybe just a shape file. I think there's a way to just get the pond outline and just drop it in there, right?
Based on the imagery, it's based on the imagery, you mean?
Yeah.
There is. Yeah, it's called image classification. So the software is going to look at the image itself and try to distinguish based on the color, like where the ponds are. Like
it's like a magic wand tool in Photoshop.
Essentially, yeah, it's kind of a feature recognition thing. Yeah, that's a little bit more
on ArcGIS Pro, or
they have those tools in ArcGIS Pro for sure. But yeah, that's a little bit more complicated of a tool, but we can
okay.
Look at it in a second if you want.
I was wondering if it was just as simple like a shape file. I just remember we used to have to do all this stuff and it would just kind of do the outlines for us, and it would pretty much take away this whole step of tracing everything.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'll share with you guys. So in my class, I have my students do something very similar, at least using that type of tool, where they work on a lab where they have to figure out the differences between pervious and impervious surfaces. And I think even one of the classes that they have to pull out, like one of the polygons that they have to create, is for ponds and like water features. So what I could do is just share that lab with you guys, and you can kind of work on it as like homework and see. Again, it's more to like learn how to use the tool and then apply it to this stuff, if that makes sense.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I got so many of these labs. I get lost in some of them sometimes, like what can do what, but I know that there's something out there for sure that is related to what you guys are working with. And I think also if you had like a higher resolution photography, and again, there's sources that you can find that as well directly in here too, but having something with a better updated version and a higher resolution where you can get a better sense of where that lake actually is, that would help as well. So with this one, let's work on the grid thing. You have your treatment area. That's your is that polygon also that's hatched, right? The symbology that you have there. Okay. So the layer itself is just the outline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, actually, it looks like you have two different outlines, but that's fine. So, okay, let's go to, it should be under geoprocessing. Click the click analysis. the analysis tab at the top.
Yep.
Okay. And then let's go to, let's see, we need the geoprocessing. Yeah, click the tools button. The tools little toolbox right under analysis.
Um,
There you go. Okay, cool. So we're going to use a tool called the fishnet. So all you have to do is just type fishnet into the geoprocessing. Yeah, right there.
this one. Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay. And so go ahead and call it, you can call it grid example or something like that. That's fine. And then for the template extent, so this is, like I said, why I like to have a polygon already in place, because it makes things a lot cleaner and nice and neater. But under template extent, where it says default to the right,
Yep.
drop that down, and then you should be able to pick one of the layers. So I think treatment
So
area.
maybe treatment area. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So now that's locked that in as the area where it's going to create the new file. Now, you guys are working with feet or meters?
So we typically say a metered grid.
Okay.
Um,
How many meters do you want to work with here per
Well,
point?
that's the thing. I don't know if any of us understand anyways, because it's different depending on the size of the water body, but we try and do like a point per surface acre. So I guess, is there a way to dial in meters based on that metric?
Let me see if I can run the math real quick.
Yeah, so like if we know the lake size is, I don't know, James, you know the size on that just off the top of the head?
I think it was 256 acres, including orchard, which was, I think, 2 acres, so maybe 254.
Yeah, so if we said, okay, we have 254 acres, we want 254 points. How many meters should our grid be?
Right.
And that leads to me one more question for you before I get sidetracked.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know there's a way to figure out acres per polygon. After we do the grid, can we just like figure out, can you just show us how to figure out like how many X amount of acres a polygon is? If that makes sense, like the size of a polygon.
Sure. Actually, I think you could do that just by looking at the properties of the polygon themselves. And then let's see.
So I usually have to go back. I usually take my polygon, move it to Google Earth, and then have to do it through Google Earth. But I remember there's a way you could do it directly
Yeah,
through
I
GIS.
think click on the metadata maybe, or sorry, general. How about general? General display. I know it's something simple in here. Let's come back to that, okay?
Yeah.
Let's come back to that. So yeah, you need a point for every
Acre.
sorry, for every acre, right?
Yep.
And you said there's 200 something acres. So this is the part where we're trying to figure out the grid itself. How many meters is there in?
So there's 4,046 square meters in an acre.
Right. So I think that's the answer then, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So here, where it says cell size, width, let's put 4, because what we're going to do is we're going to create kind of a square, to create a grid. We're just going to put the same thing in both width and height. So put
yeah, do 4,447 actually, round it up because it's
4047. And then height, do the same thing. Okay. And then it should, so number of rows, yeah, that's fine. Those will go away because you've established it to be a perfect square. And then let's see, the label, really what we're trying to ultimately get out of this is points. And it's going to create boxes for us, but when we have that little thing that says create label points checked, it's going to create a single point in every box as well, which is really what we want. So that's for sure what we want. Geometry type, just for the sake of the argument, drop that down to polygon, because maybe that helps as well. I think having a polygon layer instead of a polyline would probably be more beneficial. But it looks like where it says output feature class, you have an error right there. Can you see what's going on with that grid map template? I'm not sure why it's given us the name contains invalid characters.
So maybe it shouldn't have that underscore or something like that.
Yeah, it shouldn't have a space maybe or something.
Oh yeah. Make it underscore there. Or that's good.
There you go. Okay. So hit run. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. What happened now? Number of output features exceeds OID limitation.
2 billion.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Object ID limitations. Okay, so this is something related to like it's like we're creating too many or something, but that's a little strange. I'm wondering right now, is your the units for this map are meters, right? They're not feet. Because all I see is latitude, longitude.
Do I click this to see?
So it's decimal degree. Yeah.
I'm going to put it in meters.
Let's do this instead of that. Yeah, you could do that too, but let's do this. Okay. In your layers, where it says map right under drawing order, see where your layers are to the left. Yeah. So map, go ahead and open the properties for the map itself. Go up right there. And then go to properties. Okay, so yeah, you're in display units is meters, reference scale. Drop that down real quick. Okay, that doesn't matter. That's not what we're talking about here. Let's see. So, okay, good. The map units is meters, so that's perfect. So I just wanted to make sure that when we're putting in 4,000 something, it's not trying to find it as feet instead. We need to solve this object ID thing. So you can say okay to that. That's fine. And go back to the error where it says view details under create fishnet, where it says view details there. So object OID limit of 2 billion. Let's see if we can change that. Create grid. Okay, so go to environments. You can close that window. And then click on the little tab that says environments. I wonder if it's in here somewhere. Configure, extent, output coordinates. Why would it create 2 billion? That doesn't make sense. 2 billion something.
Right, because realistically it should be 246 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we're not even touching 2 billion.
No, something's off a little bit. Okay. Try this where it says processing extent. Let's just drop that down again and make sure we choose treatment area again. Okay. And then back to parameters. And that's all the same.
Well, it's got 4.047. Is that?
No, I tried putting a comma and it just goes back to a dot.
What if
Oh, it's a dot? I thought that was a comma.
No, I keep putting commas in, but then it goes to a.
So
try not putting a comma at all.
yeah, just make it 4047.
Yeah, that would make sense then, actually. Okay.
Run.
Right on. Okay. Something happened. Something worked. Sort of. Scroll out a bit. Okay. Wow.
So it
Okay.
looks like it just did a huge area.
Yeah, it didn't sync up with the right one, did it? So it created it, just not the right one.
It also went well beyond that treatment area boundary.
Yes. Okay. Let's do this. Go ahead and
Is it because, I mean, I use this treatment area parameter right here. I use this for pretty much everything. So I'll use all of these here for different maps, which is why you kind of maybe see different blue dots here, is because I'll just switch the name and I'll zoom in on a different. So maybe it took every treatment area I've done.
it definitely did. It took the extent if you have one that's way over here.
Yeah, so that's exactly what it did.
So we need to isolate, the first thing we need to do is isolate the treatment area of just that pond. So let's do this. You can remove the grid example label because it's kind of busy in the remove grid example, and then remove the grid example label. Okay, cool. So let's go back to the one that we were focusing on, and let's extract just that polygon itself, just that feature itself. Do you know how to do that?
No.
Okay. So a simple way would be if you go back to map, the tab map at the top, and then just select it. So hit the select button. Yeah, and then just select that one just by itself. Okay. Now go over to treatment area on the right, your layer for treatment area, and then right click on it. And then say, go down to data. And then export features. Okay. So yeah, so now when it says output name, let's just call this, I don't know if that pond has a specific name, but that's fine. Okay. Maybe put an underscore instead of a spaces. Yeah. Okay. And then go ahead and say, okay. Okay, cool. So now you've got, so just for kind of keeping things clean, turn the treatment area, just get rid of the treatment area altogether, the layer there.
Delete it.
Yeah, just remove it from the map. Okay. So the only thing we're working with now is reservoir pond treatment. Let's try this again, where it says, so go back over to fishnet. So it says template extent. Instead of as specified below, drop that down again. And this time choose.
And do the one we just made.
Yes. Okay. And then, sorry, go over to environments real quick, just to make sure that it's not. No, we don't want treatment area. We want. Actually, just say as specified below, if that gives you the option. No, that's not what we want. How do we just delete that stupid thing? Inspection treatment.
Current, maybe just do current.
Just say browse, maybe. So it kind of, no, that's not going to work. Well, I think the parameters is going to be the main thing. So are they the same? 79, 79? No, they're not the same. You know what we could try to do is, because we kind of screwed ourselves up here by having it done twice. Just close the tool and start over again. Yeah, go back to analysis.
Analysis, yeah.
And then yeah, fishnet, create fishnet. Okay, cool. So now we're starting from scratch again. So this time, just call it, pond grid or something like that. Okay. And then template extent, we know we're choosing just the pond treatment. There you go. And we'll just leave that like that. Now cell width 40, 47. And then cell height 40, 47. Okay, and that should do it.
Did you want to put this one back to polygon, or should we keep it polyline?
Yeah, I just put a polygon for the sake of the argument. Okay. What is it doing? For some reason, it's creating. Okay, zoom out on your map because something's not interesting. So cell width size 4,000. I mean, how 4,000 by 4,000? That should be. Here, I'm going to take over your screen real quick, okay?
Yep.
Can you give me access to it? Yeah. Okay. So let's do a quick thing here and see what's going on here. Map. So that's 4,000 meters. It's making the right thing.
Is it?
Yeah, that's 4,000.
Because there's, actually, I guess.
No,
Press
no,
that,
no.
Press that. Here, well, here's maybe where we're going wrong.
Yeah, we're doing the math wrong.
Because, there's 4,047 square meters in an acre.
Right. So, gosh, man. Okay, we just got to figure out what the actual, how many, so we need to know the length. We need to know one of the sides of that.
Let's see.
So could you use that tool and map out the pond length then, or did that just measure the?
I just measured I just was
Yeah,
checking to
okay.
see if what it created is what we told it to do, and it did, which tells me that we got the math not correct, right? So, yeah, we just need to figure out like one of the sides, how long that would be. So I think would it be if we, not if we divide it by 2, right? No. Or find the square root?
Yes, I think the square root,
that right?
maybe.
Let's see. 47. Let's see. So square root. Hold on 1 second. So yeah, because it would be length time height.
I think it might be 63.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Try like 63 times 63.
63 times 63 is going to give us 4,047 square meters. Yeah, I think you're totally on. I got the same thing on my. So let's redo it. Let's call it in this time. We'll call it pond grid. Just put pond grid 2 because we already have a pond grid out there.
Yeah, so it'd be like 63.6 or something.
Yes.
Actually, 63.6149039 to be exact, but.
Oh, it's 63.3.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
6.6.
63.6. Yeah, do that.
That's fine. Yep, that works. All right, let's run it again. We're going to get this right.
There it is.
That's it. That's it. Now, for some reason, I guess we would need to do another, I guess then we would need to do a clip because what it's doing is it's taking, because it's creating a big square, right? So it's not
Yep.
clipping it directly. Go over to environments real quick. I thought there was a clip option, but maybe I'm wrong. Geodatabase, that's just processing extent. That's not the same
Yeah.
thing. If you click on the little plus button right where your mouse is, what happens? No, that's not what we're looking for. Okay. So at least this is a start. Now,
How do you get rid of the green?
oh, so yeah,
Just do this.
just do that.
All right. Okay.
Yep, just do that. Because what it's doing is it's technically using it's creating the polygons first, and then it's just putting the little dots in the middle of each one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, from here, it's just a matter of saying, okay, clip your pond grid 2 label to this reservoir pond treatment. So we could try that if you want to get it exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's go under your geoprocessing, click the little arrow to go back again. Okay, so now you can just do a simple clip tool. So you can just type clip in the window there. Okay, that's perfect. Yep. And then input features are going to be the pond grid 2 label. So drop that down. Yep, that one. Okay. And then your clip features are your reservoir pond treatment.
Yep.
Right down there. Okay. And then that's fine. They're just for examples. Click run. Okay, so it finished it. So go ahead and erase or remove the pond grid labeled that one. Yep. And then there's your
Nice.
money right there.
Now,
Cool.
now is there a way to change a color on one of those points?
Just
So
one?
for instance, if they were in the field, they would go to all these points. Let's say they found fanwort at 37 of them. So they made just a fanwort map and they wanted to delete all the points where fanwort wasn't there. So I guess, is there a way to change the color or delete points?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So if you go to edit, the tab at the top where it says edit, this is another thing you're gonna have to consider is, you know, we're gonna mess around with symbology here, like you asked, but also the fields that you have, right, need to be kind of what you're looking for. Because I think right now, when you open the attribute table of this thing, it's going to have like 2 very basic things. So if you want to have an attribute table for, you know, this type of chemical, and then a field for this type of you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going with that. But anyways, to change the color of one of the points, let's see. I think if you go, oh man, how do you change just the color of one point? I think
I guess to add on to changing one color, is there a way to label the points on here, you know, like point 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, definitely. So now we're getting into, you know, when you get into the attribute table, that's where you're going to have the opportunities to do all these type of things, you know. And
how do you do that again? You just right click this, right?
Well, so actually here, let's go, it's in the edit window. And I think if you go to, yeah, sorry, you were in the right, oh, attributes. It's because I know it's in a couple different places. Go ahead and click that. And then, oh no, sorry, this is select by attributes. Close that. That's not the right thing. You were in the right place. Right click on the layer. Yep. And then attribute table. Okay. So yeah, see how it's only got 2 fields? So we started from scratch, right? You know, object ID is just a random, not random, but it's an order of all the points that come out, and then it's called a point shape. So what we could do, we're going to try to get to a bunch of these things at once, okay? So let's say you wanted to add a field for, I don't know, some chemicals or something you add, right? Or some, what was it you were saying, Joe? There was like,
yeah, like let's say they found a certain plant, you know.
Perfect. Okay, so we want to make a new column for like types of plants, right, that you might find out there. So go to where it says add under right next to field. Yep. Okay. And so what do you want to call it? What do you want to call this column?
Fanwort for now.
Yeah, call it fanwort for now.
Okay. And then so whoops, go back up real quick. So the alias, do you want to give it like a shorter name? I mean, I guess it could be the same thing. It doesn't really
Yeah, like
matter.
FW maybe or something.
Yeah, sure. Does it
What
allow
I
you
did
to,
here.
does it allow you to click on it? There you go.
There we go.
Yep. And then data type, click on the data type, see where it says long. So would this be text or would this be numbers or what?
I don't really know what's it gonna do once you fill this in, like, what's it gonna do?
So it's just setting the parameters for the data that you enter, whether it's going to be numbers or really just, it's, you know, just deciding between if it's going to be number values or, I mean, I guess it could be
Well,
both.
is it gonna spit it out in text form or like put it on the map?
Well, you're going to have the option to put these on the map. Yes. So you can add, in other words, you can add labels to these points, but the labels will be based on what you have in your attribute table.
So I think let's say we were doing like a fan warp map and we had different densities, right? I think in an ideal world, it would be, if it's this density, it's green. If it's this density, it's orange. If it's this density, it's red. Is there a way to kind of plug in a percentage that will change the color of the dots and not necessarily put text in?
Yeah, for sure. So let's just choose the, go ahead and choose the long is fine, because that's going to be a more of a number value. And then essentially what you're trying to get at, Joe, is, you know, you have quantitative information there, right? Like numerical information about each one of these dots of this fan word, right? So like this one over here is 20, this one over here is 50, and so on and so on. So to colorize them based on these different values, you're going to have some information inputted in here, which is theoretically what we're going to be doing when you go into the field.
Yeah.
But this is the first step to having that information kind of stored within the layer itself, if that makes sense. And then once the information is populated, then so I think we can actually kind of try to replicate this now and see if we can get somewhere with this. Okay, the last one you have there, go ahead and see, because I saw you clicked one kind of the fourth one down.
Yeah, I did it by accident.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's see if we can delete that whole field. I think if you go to that part there, does it allow you? Maybe not, but okay. So I think then if you go back to your tab under, so there's the fields tab and then there's pond grid. So right above your mouse. Oh, you got rid of it. Okay, cool. So now, yeah, go over to the tab. See how you have a highlighted blue tab right there?
Yep.
Go to the left side now. Okay, cool. Why didn't it save it? Wait a minute. Shit. Go back over there to fields. Maybe we have to save it or, oh, I see. Okay. So there's a lot of steps to this, guys. At the top of your window, right under all of the main tabs in Pro, see where it says save at the far, kind of in the middle of the screen. There's a little save button. Nope, keep going to the right. Keep going to the right. Keep going.
Oh, right here.
Right there, yep. Save. Okay, applying changes. Okay, so now the field is stored. And so if you go back to that thing, okay, now it's there, right? FW, okay? So let's try this. I think it will allow us to add numbers in here, which again, that you would, yeah, if you click on that, does it allow you to add any numbers or anything? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So I'm trying to think if there's a way we could do, I know if you do calculate, then you could try to like kind of populate the whole thing at once, but let's just do like, just to make it easy, because you're going to be populating this field in using field maps. Is that clicking with you, Joe? What I'm saying?
I mean, maybe if we could figure out how to use field maps, it would be.
I know.
I mean, I don't know if we have this. I mean, is there a way to fill all this in the field?
Yes. that's
like
the
fill in
idea.
these tables and,
That would be the ideal. It's like you're creating the tables, you're creating all of the columns first. And again, once you do this the first time, it's like you've created the template for all of these different types of maps you go out and you work with, right? But theoretically, you're going to be creating this information in the field each time you enter these numbers. So like, let's just try to replicate this now. Here, I'll actually see if I can just do it quickly. Like I'll put like 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. I'm just going to kind of fill up the screen a little bit, okay? And then here, let's do another 5, 10, 10. Again, I'm just randomly kind of putting these here, but let's put 40 like that. 10. Okay. So now I'm gonna save. Let's see. Click away.
Now, if I remember right, every single time you do something, you're supposed to save, right? I think
Yes.
that's what they like drilled into us back in the day. Save is
Yeah,
huge.
in the old ArcMap for sure, that was the case. And then with this one, the little save button, I think it actually saved it for us automatically when we're entering in this information. So okay, so here's what we have now. If I go to imagine, like I said, that we have, I'm going to try to remove this screen a little bit so it's not taking up everything. How come I can't get rid of this thing? What's going on? I'm trying to get rid of the actual table itself since it's kind of in the way now. Oh, come back to me. There we go. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. So now we have like 20 of these dots that have actual quantitative information that was built into them now, right? That I just entered into there based on the FW field. So we can go here and we could say appearance, and we could say symbology, and we could say unique values like this, okay? And what we should be able to do, and that's based on the fields, right? So here's what I'm trying to get at, right? Your field, which is what we just added, it's looking for FW. Then if we say, I think add all values, there we go. So see, it added these examples for us. Then, okay, so there's a couple things going on. I don't know if you guys can see them here, but I'm going to try my best to display what I have here for you. So if we do something like, I don't know, this instead, a little bit brighter. Okay, so take a look down here. See how I've got them as different colors, right? And these colors are based on these values. Does that make sense?
got it.
We've got a whole bunch of red ones that are just null. Maybe I can just get rid of these or say no color to those. Okay.
Oh, cool.
See what I did there? So there's a whole bunch of ways to kind of try to work this. I don't know if I can completely get rid of it. I tried. I mean, there's got to be ways, but transparency field. Yeah. Anyways, this is kind of scratching the surface of what you were looking for. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, could you replicate that, James, Colin, you think? I mean,
Yeah.
if we were to say, hey, can we do a point survey? We could probably create that grid, but then I guess entering in the data, now, is there a way to add numbers to these or to see what the longitude and latitude of each point is?
Yeah, definitely. Again, these are all just extra fields that you want to add. So let me go back over to here and then, so I'll get rid of this for a second. And then here, really think of the attribute table as, you know, is housing all of the information for your data. So if you want to kind of add things, if you want to have calculations, if you want to have coordinates as part of it, then they're all, and I can't get the stupid thing to show back up because it's kind of hidden down here. Let's see. But anyways, it's just a matter of having the right fields in place. Oh, come on. There it is. Oh, come on back. There's a bit of a lag with the screen share. Trying to get that little sucker. There we go. Okay. So we're back to this. So now if I say edit again, and okay, so actually, yes. So you know what you were asking me about the constant saving things? You're right. When you have the editor going, you definitely want to make sure you click this little save here, if you can remember it as much as you can. Okay. So now I'm going to go over and say add another field. And so this one, we'll call it coordinates. The other thing about the fields too is we can use we can label our points based on the information from the fields, because I know that's what you're kind of getting at too, Joe.
Yep.
So if we say coordinates, and then we'll just call this part like that. Then if we put this part as actually a long should work fine.
What's the difference in the data type there between like long and short?
Well, it's going to determine how long the integers are. I'd have to get back to you on that because there's specific definitions for each one. But essentially, you know, the text, I really go between short, long, or text. Short and long, essentially, you know, and you could just choose long because even if you put a couple numbers like we just did, it's still going to work, right? It's really just trying to truncate how many values you have there.
Okay.
But if you have something that's a text, some kind of like text, it's like good, better, best or something, then you would choose the text option. But for coordinates, you know, we're going to have potentially a really long number there, right? So I think if we say long, that's good. That works. And actually, as I'm thinking about this, you're going to need to have a row for latitude and a row for longitude. So instead of just saying one thing for coordinates, I'm going to change this all together like that. And then this one. Okay. And then I'm going to come over here. Okay. So that's done. And so let's say, click here to add a new field again. Now let's call this one longitude. Okay, so that should work if I say over here, whoops, oh, see, I did it again. I didn't save it. Save it here, up here. Okay, so now I've got these fields here. And if I go over to this, and so here we could say right click and we could say calculate field, I think.
It's calculate field and calculate geometry. That's where you see the acres, right?
Yes.
Like if we were to see the acres of a polygon, we go right into calculate geometry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yep. So calculate field. Okay, so no, this is not the right thing. What am I doing? It's here. Calculate. Maybe it is calculate geometry. Coordinate system, target, property. This is what we're, so let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm kind of having to rethink some of these things as I'm clicking through things, but we're looking at the points. We have latitude, which should be our y coordinates. Okay, we have longitude for our X coordinates. Okay, coordinate system, coordinate format, same as input. Let's see if we want to change that to, how about decimal degrees? Okay, let's see if this does it for both of those. So it did. It just didn't add them it didn't add the points, but we can change that. There's tons of stuff you can do in here and just kind of play around and make things improved. But you know, that's not going to help if they're all 4271, right? Here, let's get these a little bit more, clean these up a little bit more. Let's say here, there, and I want to change the field itself, make it, it's in here somewhere where you could change the values, how far out. See, is it here? Change field, summarize statistics, calculate field, calculate geometry, calculate field, range, extent, export features, export data. Yeah, it's in here somewhere where you could change the, you know, how far out your decimal degrees go in the field itself. Because right now it's only telling us 42 minus 71, but you know, it's out there somewhere. I don't know. Do you want me to keep looking around for it, or I mean, because we can move on to something else if you want, but
I don't think it really matters.
yeah, it's because I'm just showing you the generalization of how to do it, right?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
want to make sure. So if James had a polygon though, can we just make sure we know how to figure out how many acres that is?
Yeah. So here, let's do this. I'm gonna give up the remote control. I'm gonna let you, James, go to your reservoir pond treatment layer, and
Review table.
yep. Okay. So to find out what we just did for this one, actually, if you scroll over, it's got shape length.
Yeah, that's what I was
area
just
right
looking
there.
at.
So that's already built into it already there. The
And
other
I
thing,
can probably put that into acres somewhere here, maybe.
yeah, try to get, so right click it and say calculate field, or no, I'm sorry, it has to be calculate geometry. So I think what we're gonna have to do to convert that would be, I'd hate to have to add a new one, but that's the simplest way I could think right now.
What
So
about
just
down
go
at the bottom there where James selected meters, that little, I don't know, there's something down the bottom that James
Right
changed.
here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Of course, nothing for acres.
Well, those are linear measurements, but if you put feet, would it change? Put
US feet.
US feet. Let's see if that changes everything. No, it doesn't. It doesn't convert it automatically. But what about if you go to map again on the left side, like we did before, all the way to the left on the layers, and then right there, if you right click on that, properties. So that's the thing. The map units are in meters, and that's why it's doing that. So that's yeah, that's something that would have to be changed at the very beginning when you're setting up the map itself. We can try to convert this in the attribute table though.
Well,
So
why
let's,
don't, James,
yeah.
why don't you open up maybe a new map, like say Sugden, open that one.
I can't open up Sugden because it's off of my laptop and onto the Google Drive.
Or like one of those other ones that maybe has like a.
Unless I maybe go into, let me see if I can.
Like I know like when with Army Corps there. Or even Sugden, right? We were trying to calculate the acreage and you had to go like recreate it in Google Earth.
I think if I do this, it will bring me to it. Maybe not.
You'd have to download that APRX.
I have to download this.
Yeah. Because Pro's not going to be able to open it directly from Drive.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, I would have to do something I haven't moved yet to, I mean, I got some of these.
Maybe, like, did you do little treatment areas for Muscopic?
No, I just used, I think I might have already moved Muscopic too.
I
Yeah,
saw it in there. I saw it in there. Right there.
yeah, it's just the site map though. It's just like a regular map. I don't know, we could do like, Hawkins treatment map
Yeah, how about that?
or Lake Muscopic treatment. Here we go. I think I just did the whole thing. Yeah. So from the beginning here, I would have to go to, oop,
Okay. So
go to map up here and switch it.
yeah, click on the map. So it's stuck in meters, but I'm trying to think the best way to change the entire map itself. Because that's generally set up when you kind of start a project. And go back over that little information thing again. Map units are defined by the coordinate system of the map. Modify the map's coordinate system to a different unit. Okay, well, we could try that actually. So see where it says coordinate systems on the left there? Okay, and so let's do this. Let's see. XY coordinate system, where it says search, start typing state plane. State plane is a US coordinate system that should, and then hit enter. Don't hit OK, but hit enter. Does it come up with anything? There we go. So state plane is really a good one for referencing things if you want imperial units, feet, square feet, meter, acres, that kind of thing. Underneath projected coordinate system, underneath state plane, then, okay, so you could choose, there's a lot of these, man, but I try to make this as simple as possible. Go back up to the top, sorry, down a little bit more. And then right here where it says 1983, 2011 US feet, that one right there. Go ahead and say, okay. All right. Okay. Now go back to your map properties again. That one, yeah, that one again. And then, sorry, go back to general. At the, oh, no, you were in the right
Oops, sorry.
place. Yep. Go back to general at the top. So it's still stuck on meters. Why is it still stuck on meters when we changed it? Coordinate system. Map extent. Decimal degrees, feet. Change the display units to feet. US feet. You could say okay. I guess it didn't lock in for some reason. But yeah. Okay. To get just a general sense though of this treatment area. Again, is this one where you've got a whole bunch of features for treatment area, or is it just this one little polygon?
This is just the shape you see, the outline hatched.
Okay. So let's go to the attribute table for the treatment area. Okay, so So there's a bunch of them actually out there. So
Yeah, I think that's just because I use kind of treatment area, like I said.
yeah, over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna
Well,
need,
it shows length and shape area. Yeah. So we just got to get, because in an ideal world, that would be awesome if James was doing like a treatment map with like 10 different polygons in the same lake, and he could go to that, and where it says shape area, it would actually give the acreage
acres instead of that
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
instead of whatever it is.
yeah, right. Okay. Can we try at the top? Click on the edit at the top. There. Okay, and then where is, yeah, I'm gonna take over real quick.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay. So here.
Yeah, I remember it being like calculate field or calculate geometry.
Yeah, for
Rings a bell.
sure. For sure. What we needed to do is essentially scale what you have here and change it to acres instead. But we've got kind of a mix up because we've got meters, feet, there's got like kind of all kinds of things going on at once. But I'm going to try something like this. Shape acres. Let's just call this. Let's see if this works. Here, I'm gonna put this as a double actually, instead of a long. That should work better since that's what they've got there. Okay, and then, oops, where'd it go? Field acres. No, I don't want to add another one. Let's move that. Okay, so save it. Okay, now if we go here. We go to acres here, and now if we say calculate geometry, property, let's see, area, we do want it to be an area. It's just a matter of area units. How about this? Maybe this will do it. Treatment area, acres, or sorry, area. Geodesic. I'm just making sure. I'm just kind of going over and reading these things over again. Okay, so I think this is going to solve it. Let's see. What do you think? Let's see. Let's scroll this thing over. And I really just did the same thing that we did in the last one, remember? So to pinpoint this one in particular, a quick method would be to go to your, well, actually it doesn't matter, but you have select. You want to select just this one, and then it should show up over in your table. Actually, here we go. We can do this to isolate that particular one. So here it is. So the acreage of this is just under 1 acre. Does that sound right?
No,
No, that's not right. Okay, so it didn't calculate the right
I
thing.
think it's like 90 something acres.
So it's
93
off
acres?
by,
It could be 93 acres. Yeah, I think it's off by one couple decimal points.
Okay. So somewhere our conversions are off. That's the thing. Because I think that this is still meters. Here, I'm going to do a quick math because that's supposed to be shape area. If we did, this is 40175. It should be about 150 acres. Does that sound right?
Yeah, let me look it up. Let me say
Okay.
Scopic Lake. It says it's about 217 acres.
Okay, so that's not right either. Okay. Here, let me try one more thing so we get this right. 270 acres. Wow. So I don't know.
Another thing says 209. So somewhere 209, 210.
Okay. I'm just not sure what this is referring to. I imagine it's meters, since the whole thing is in meters. But when I put square meters on my calculator here, 640,175, that comes out to 158 acres. So this is obviously wrong here. So that's not a good thing, but whoops. We'd have to just keep digging to get this all right. I mean, really, I think as I'm looking at your guys' data and the maps that you have put together, I mean, there's good starting points. There's just more time would be needed to kind of like for all the little things you're wanting to get out of this. You know what I mean? Really designing templates in place for you guys so that you have things in the acres, and then also so that you can kind of establish all the fields you need, all those columns that you need, so that you have essentially these layers ready to go and ready to load when you take them directly to field maps. And then we just get this to be kind of a seamless workflow. That's the idea. But we're still a ways from getting there, I think. Not that it's not possible. I just don't know that we're gonna be able to solve all that like today, right now.
I think the only real thing is if we can somehow get that to be acres and actually be able to click a polygon and show acres. I mean, that's probably the most urgent thing.
Okay.
Because otherwise they're basically doing it in GIS and might as well just throw it in the trash, because then they got to eyeball a polygon in Google Earth to try and get something that looks similar to try and figure out the acres.
Right.
I mean, if we can do that, I think we probably got a lot out, because I think we could do a metered grid.
Yes.
We can make a call to Esri and figure out what the disconnect is between the online and everything else. That way we can at least use field maps.
Okay.
I mean, because these point surveys are pretty rare. So I think if we needed to set something up, we could set something up, or, you know, maybe even build in a couple hours for you to help us build it the first time if we need to. But
Okay.
I think figuring out acres so that we can just click on a polygon and say, oh, it's 8 acres is huge.
Right. Okay. Gosh, you know. So
Is it because we can't switch meters originally in the map, or?
that's what's throwing everything off. My assumption is we started with the meters, and then we've got shape area here. I'm pretty sure these are meters. That's what this is telling us. But it's hard to know, you know, because also the satellite versions, the satellite pictures are not exactly the same. Like when you look at this one versus you look at Google Earth versus what you guys see in the field, it's not exactly all the same, right? The water's changing. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way. Actually, here, let's do this.
What if we change the map units back to meters? I mean, like just where you're at, like right there. Would that help at all?
Well, we could try, but really all that does is it changes these coordinate values here.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of scaling things at this point, is what you guys have set up. That needs to be kind of reset. Don't know if there's a simple way to kind of do that. Let's see, standardized field. Oops, come on, you thing. And we can bring that over. Standardized values in the fields, converting them to values follow a specified scale. Let's try this. Okay, so let's try, actually here, real quick, go back to this one, fields treatment area. Just want to make sure we have everything saved. I think we do. Okay, so input table, if we choose treatment area and standardization method, Minimum to maximum absolute robust standardization. No, this isn't what we're looking for. Field to standardize. Field acres. Acre score Z, but this is not what we're looking for though. I'm looking to scale this thing. Basically take what it already has. Where does it get this shape area thing from? Is actually, that's a good question we could start with, because that's pretty important. I mean, it's got the information there under shape area, but come on thing. So like over here, this was already built in, right? So where
Yeah,
did you get that information from?
not by us though. I don't know how the heck.
Okay. So that came from somewhere else.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we don't do too much with the tribute tables. We kind of just put the polygons on, put the legend on, and if we ever needed acreage, like Joe said, we just go to Google Earth and kind of,
Do a conversion there.
yeah.
Well, it's not even a conversion, really. It's recreating a map. So it's like we eyeballed the map, drew a polygon based on the eyeball, can't get the acreage, so then we have to recreate the map in Google Earth and eyeball that polygon. Then you're further off and you've done double the work.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so important to just be able to, if they have maps, just be able to easily click on a polygon or use that tool there to just show the actual acres.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Let's see. What if we did do this? Oh no, sorry. Calculate field. And we said acres. How about this one here? Shape area. And then we said equals or times, maybe. Give me 1 second. So times. I'm just going to put this little conversion in here and see if that helps it. This one here, copy. Whoops, that's not working. Here, 0.000247. Okay. See what that does. Why? Yeah, that didn't work. The area. Man, I'm a bit stumped here. It sounds like such a simple thing, but it's just a matter we have to figure out how to get these units converted. Convert, generate coordinate locations, extract. Yeah, that's not what we want. Okay. And scale didn't give us what we wanted either. Update annotation reference, rescale. No, scale smooth edges, increment scale. Scale coordinates. Rescale, dissolve, eliminate, generalize. Maximum off the tiles, add geometry attributes, XY table. Eliminate, rescale by function. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to find this right now. Maybe what we could do is send me a link to that, what you have on Google Drive, so I can download something like this, and then I'll work on it and see if I can come up with a resolution for you guys. Because I know it's something simple out there. It's just I can't figure out how to find it right now. There's a little bit more dissecting, like I said, to kind of get to the root of why we're having this kind of simple problem. But I would just need more time to get my hands on it, and I don't want to kind of sit here and have you guys just kind of stare at me randomly clicking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be something we also ask Esri or whatever too, if
Yeah, I
maybe have
mean,
pointers.
I'm gonna do some Google searching and I'm sure it's like this all the time with GIS. You know, you have these like what sound like basic issues or problems or things you're trying to solve. And sometimes it's just like so deep in there and you're like, why isn't it a simple like button conversion thing, you know? And I think it actually is a simple button that we're just that we're not finding somewhere. I know in the tables, this is one way to do it, but it's obviously not working the right way because the conversion's off somehow.
Mhm.
So yeah, sorry, I don't mean to leave you with kind of a stuck point here, but I mean, I can stick around, but I just don't know how to solve this one right now.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I guess if you figure it out, let us know, and we can ask Esri too, because we'll call on that whole disconnect with the online thing, and hopefully they can resolve it.
For sure, for sure. Like I said, if you could send me, James, if you could send me
Yep.
like in Google Drive, copy, you can do it right now while we're on this, so
Yeah.
make sure we get it right.
Um,
Like that thing
did
right there.
anyone want? Yeah, does any pond work or?
Yeah, like that one there, it looks like it's already
Yeah.
the right thing, the profile. So if you say share, and then
Put your name.
yeah, you can start putting my name, J Miller, at arieledu.com.
Like that.
Yep, just like that. Perfect.
Perfect.
Then sorry, one more thing, because it said also I want to make sure that I have access to it. So where it says editor,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that'll work. Yeah, send that, or no, sorry, click the little gear, the settings gear at the top real quick. Editors can change permission, viewers can come. Okay, that should work. I'll confirm with you right now. So go ahead and send that my way. And then that's fine. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me confirm I have it.
Yeah, and if you need others, I can send you others too. I just put I put the map and I think what's it called, like the APRX.
Yep.
Yeah, I put everything in the Google Drive.
Okay. Okay, so it just downloaded, so I think I'm going to be able to get it. Let me just double check here real quick. Where are the... So I have the map, but I don't have the shape files. I wonder if this is going to be a problem. Treatment area. Data. Let's see. I know they're all there. I saw it in the thing. XML, metadata, APRX. Interesting. Yeah, it's not working right away. Maybe it's in folders, downloads. See, this would be a nice thing if we had the ArcGIS Online working too. So we
That's what I was thinking.
make it more simple. Yeah, this darn thing is not working. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna need, because on my end, it's not loading the files. Like it's loading just the map, but it's giving me a bunch of red exclamation points. So I would need.
You can't click those red exclamation points and do what I do and just hit like polygon or something.
Show me again what you did, and I'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Sometimes
I saw one right there. Oh, the dense something.
one on this map. Yep. So usually if I just click this little exclamation point, it will bring me to.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I don't know, who knows, maybe this is causing the issue too, but and then usually if I just click like areas, Sometimes I do polygons, sometimes I do areas. It just like traces back and it works.
Right. So it's finding them all because you have all the files on your computer, but I don't have the actual
Yeah.
shape files on my computer. So that's why it's not working for me. So I guess there's a couple things, right? If you can locate, or maybe let's see, can you send me? I'm trying to think of another way to do this. Gosh, can we export all of those as a certain package? That's what this is supposed to do. But let's see. Let's go to under the share at the top. Oh no, actually, go back to map again on the left side. Yeah, where it says download map. What does that do? On the right side, download map, include base map and tile layers, pan and zoom. Click on, yeah, click that. No, that's only going to make it so that you don't need to, never mind, that's something different. I thought maybe that was going to be it. Gosh, okay, so if we say save, go to project on the left, on the far left, project.
Project.
At the far top left.
Oh, yep.
There you go. And then save as. So it's saving it as APRX, which is what we already have, but we need to find, so I need the actual shapefile itself. Here, let's do this. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place. Cancel that, go back to the map itself. And then, really the one that I need in particular is the
This one.
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just that by itself. If we just save that by itself and send me that also. So if you go to data, yeah, let's try export features here. And then so output location, click the little folder next to output location. Okay, let's make sure we save this in a place we know we can find it again. So
this is what this is where I found the portal earlier too.
Oh
Here, I
yeah,
figured if I could save this into like my content or groups or my organization, and it just nothing works.
it's the same thing. That's what's unique about. I mean, really, ArcGIS Online, Living Atlas, my organization, it's all the same thing. My groups, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of scratching my head at like why they have it called something different. But so cool. So we're gonna put this in downloads. Go ahead and just say put for a name. Just put for Jeff or something like that. Okay, and then go ahead and save it. What? Output location. Oh, sorry. I guess it's just choosing your downloads. Okay, so my bad. You can erase the name, and then just say okay, because it's just telling you to save everything in your downloads. Why is it? Or maybe choose your documents folder. I don't know why it's giving us an issue. That's choose one of those. Choose ArcGIS. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And then just say okay down there. Okay. So now output name, call that one for Jeff. Okay. Say okay. All right. Now go ahead and open up a Windows Explorer, like a file explorer down on the bottom, like just a folder. So we can go to your, yeah, that. And then let's find what we just saved. So that was in, I think it was it this PC?
Jeez, there's
It's ArcGIS. There we go.
ArcGIS.
And so, okay, so see all that for Jeff stuff.
Mhm.
So can you it's probably going to make you close. Well, probably not, but can you copy, like select all of those? Yeah, perfect. Okay. And then see if it'll allow you to push all of those onto Google Drive on the or even an email. That would probably be fine because these are small files.
Let me see. Should I try email?
Yeah, that'd be the simplest way. Then it gets directly
Sure.
to me.
What was it? J Miller at Ariel.
ArielEDU.com.
Let's just drag it to my other monitor, see if it works. Yeah. Nope, error.
So you're gonna have to close the file in Pro before it allow you to send it around. So just
Okay.
go back to ArcGIS Pro real quick and then see
Close it out.
the layer for Jeff. You don't need that layer. You can remove it. Yeah. So now try again the whole drag and drop thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Did that work? Okay.
Yep.
So shoot me an email real quick.
Okay. Treatment areas. Cool.
And then I'll try to open this and make sure that it works. Yeah, still haven't gotten the message yet. Oh, here it comes. Okay. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to download all these. Yeah, download all these attachments. There we go. Okay. Show in folder. Open the folder. Here we go. Save them on my computer. Desktop. Just put them in the folder here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Link. Paste. Okay. So now I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I got them here. I've got your map here. Let's see if I just add the shape. Let's see if that works. So there's something. Is that all of it? There's got to be more than that, right? Oh, okay. So yeah, here's all of them. Isn't that the one we were looking at right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now if I go to
Now, should I not be doing that? Is that bad practice to just use the same polygon for everything, or?
It's not. Well, I guess it just depends.
Because I don't recreate a new map every time because we have like a template made for us. So what I do is I just I get rid of, I find the next pond and I essentially just do another treatment area, do more polygons, and I switch just the title of whatever depending what I need it to be.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the best practice in terms of organizing data because you're not stacking things on top of each other and kind of get lost in like what was the original versus what's the copy versus copy kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, it might be best to like take all of these different polygons and just what's called explode them so that like each one is its own thing, like each one is its own layer. And that was obviously it's gonna create a lot. It's gonna create let's see how many.
Probably a ton of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be 48 of them, right? There's 48 total, or sorry, 49 because this counts 0. So there's going to be 49 of them. But the other thing about this too is it would be, so you're going to work on all of these hypothetically, right? Is that the idea?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. I think there's so much potential here because you can also like label each one for like what its location, like what its name is, right? I'm
Mhm.
sure each one of these have a specific name, right?
Yeah.
So you can label each one for a specific name, and then kind of have a little repository of that going. And then, that way it's just a cleaner process that you're working with. Like I said, there's a foundation here, but like I think the idea is, so correct me if I'm wrong on something here. What I imagine would work for you guys is if you had all of these as separate, you could have it be all one, but you could also have them be all separate so that you can kind of pick and choose and cherry pick which ones you need.
Mhm.
But the other thing that you guys need, right? And I'm just trying to summarize as we've had this whole session here. The other thing you need that would be helpful is if you had the grid, right? The grid on every single one. Is that where I'm going with this as well?
The grid is really rare.
Oh, the grid is rare. Okay.
Different type of survey that we may come across, every now and then. So
Okay.
if we needed it, we could probably set it up. I think we could probably watch this back and be able to set it up, I think.
So I think it's easy enough to recite that thing. So, okay. So really it's just a matter of having these a little bit better organized. You could have the names for each one of them. And then also the other thing about this too, that I'm going to try to help you guys work on is getting everything in the same kind of coordinates so that in the same units so that you can, and click on a field here. That would be ideal is if it's just built right into the fields themselves. So you have because what I'm looking at here are things that like don't really matter, right? Like you don't really need this or this. I don't know if you need date, you don't need type ID. We can clean all these fields up. And then we can have it be that when you click on these various polygons, boom, all the information shows up right away. You know what I'm saying? The beauty of all of this, I know I'm like getting a little ahead of myself, but I know kind of vision wise what you're looking for here. So ArcGIS Online has a great feature. When you publish this data and you're looking at the web maps online, it's very straightforward in terms of clicking on your features and then boom, the attribute table shows up with, the various information, the name of the lake, the date it was surveyed, whatever your guys' qualitative information, percentages of treatments, geometry, like length and area and acres and stuff like that. So you could have a whole bunch of things populated per field. But really, I think it's a matter of setting everything up first in this one kind of all-inclusive layer that you have, and then kind of breaking things down from there, if that makes sense. So it's not that you were doing it the wrong way. I think it just, there wasn't enough kind of built out to begin with. And so you're kind of like piecemealing it together as you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But like I said, I can work on figuring out the acres part for you. If you want me to add any other fields that you could think of, just let me know. And I'll try to work that in there too. And then we can kind of bounce this back and forth and try to schedule another one of these. But, it's just a matter of, I think, trying to refine this starting point and getting this in a place that is you can replicate over and over and over again. So all right, but I got this, so that's a good sign. I have it on my end, and I can start going at it and see what I can come up with.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Cool. So Joe, what else you got on your mind there? I know we've been talking almost 3 hours, but anything else you could think of?
I don't think so. I think we'll I'll call Esri, or one of us will call Esri when we get off the phone to figure out what that disconnect is. Because if we can just use field maps and have it jump back and forth, I think that's probably the bulk of what we need. And then the
I'll
only
send-
other real thing is just being able to identify how many acres these polygons are.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's really it. I think it's just got to be some setting, or some quick button. So if you come across it, I guess you come across it. If not, then
Okay. No, I'll definitely work on it for you and see if I can come up with something. Definitely. But I'll send you an email with kind of a summary of like what I think, you what we did, and then kind of what you could tell Esri, just in my opinion, in terms of like what's working, what's not.
Okay.
And then, you could use that as when you talk back to them. Like I said, everything's there. It's just there's something like we just mentioned, right? There's something where the connect is not there because when I showed you guys how it worked on my end, that's how it's supposed to be. And
Yeah.
really all of these platforms are supposed to be linked to each other, right? And ArcGIS Online is the hub of where you're supposed to be bouncing these things back and forth. So
Okay.
cool.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. I'll send you that message probably later today, and then we'll just kind of.
And if you could put the link that you recorded this in that message too, that'd be awesome.
No, for sure, guys. I'll give me a couple hours. I'll put it on like my private YouTube, and then I'll send the link to you guys after it gets uploaded, and you can check
Sweet.
it out, and watch it over again.
Sounds
Watch it in
good.
fast speed, closed captions, all that good stuff.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, fellas. Have a good
Awesome.
rest
Thanks
of
a
the day.
bunch.
We'll
I
talk to you
appreciate
guys
it.
soon, okay? See ya.
See ya.
All right.